Hi, Rich Gensler from the Bills Radio Network with our 2011 Bills NFL Draft recap. You know, some prognosticators would say the Bills graded out really well in terms of who they attracted in the draft and attracting people that are going to help fill needs on this team. Certainly the team last in the league, 32nd in the run. They had 11 interceptions total, only 9 of them coming from their defensive backfield last year. And who was their leader in sacks? Their nose tackle, all things that point to one of the worst defenses in the league, and that's pretty much what the Bills went after. You know, some people talk about the Bills obviously going heavy in defense, but also getting a quarterback at some point in the draft. They didn't get a quarterback. Buddy Nick saying post-draft, you know, Cam Newton was basically it in terms of quarterback. All the other guys in the draft were good players, but not great in terms of franchise capability long term. So that's why they didn't even go after a quarterback even in late rounds. What they will do a quarterback is go after a veteran NFL free agent. They're not going to spend a lot of money on that NFL free agent, but they're going to get a guy that's certainly capable in case Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down, and just wait another year and try and draft a quarterback a year away if possible. But let's go over the draft and who they got. Let's start at defensive line with the 3rd overall pick in the first round of the draft for the Bills. Marcell Dareus, a no-brainer, 6'3", 319, a phenomenal overall player who's going to be an impact player from the start of the defensive line. So good that he can play both defensive tackle in the 4-3 and defensive end in the 3-4. And that's what the Bills are going to do, that hybrid. So he can play both. He can pass rush, but he's better known for his run defense. He'll hold up 2 blockers. Him inside will enable the inside linebackers for the Bills to make more plays, which they weren't able to do a year ago. So if you can only imagine the front line of Dwan Edwards, Kyle Williams, and Marcell Dareus, a marked improvement certainly up front for the Bills in their defense all the way around. Dareus has incredible strength. In fact, if you get a chance, check out the ESPN Sports Science video. I think, in fact, we can put that up here on our website. We'll import it from YouTube, but you got to see this because some of the drills they put Dareus through in the Sports Science are similar drills they put through guys like Lamar Woodley from the Steelers and Ndamukong Suh from the Lions, both of whom Marcell Dareus outperformed in the Sports Science experiment. So he is going to be a true impact player from the start. Seems like a great guy. Seems like he's going to be a good community guy. He's excited to be in Buffalo, which sometimes is a rarity when it comes to draft picks. So I think they really hit a home run with Dareus at the first pick. Now, cornerback, interestingly enough, could be a very, very thin position for the Bills, and that's why they addressed it early on in this draft with the number 2 pick, taking Aaron Williams, the corner out of Texas. He's expected to start no matter what. In talking to Buddy Nix, he basically told me that Williams would start either at the second corner or the nickel. And the nickel's going to play in this defense probably 3/4 of the plays on defense. So the nickel is very, very important on this defense. Now, I'll go back to saying why this defense is thin. A, there is good chance that Drayton Florence does not come back to this team. There's good chance Ashton Ubode does not come back to this team. Terrence McGee has been in and out of the lineup over the last couple of years because of injury. So what are you left with? You're left with Reggie Corner, and you're left with Leotis McKelvin. Certainly, McKelvin would be a starter at one of the corners, you would suspect, provided the other guys aren't there, that Aaron Williams will be the other corner, and he'll either take on the Y or the Z receivers. McKelvin will be responsible for the deep threat on the opposition, where Aaron Williams, the second-round pick from Texas at corner, will be responsible for either the slot guy or the number 2 receiver on both teams, on most teams in the NFL. He's a physical guy. He's a big kid, can make plays, doesn't have that deep kind of speed, catch-up speed, which is why Leotis will play the speed guy for the opposition at about 4.55 in the 40, but certainly a good pick, and some would argue one of the top 2 corners in the entire draft. To get him in the second round is excellent for the Bills. The 3rd overall pick for the Bills, a need position again, with the possibility that Paz doesn't come back as a free agent. Andre Davis has had some shoulder problems, and linebacker on the inside was, again, well, let's be honest, it was a position that really was not functional. It didn't make a lot of plays. It did when they made tackles, the inside linebackers. They made plays 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. Can't have that, so they go out with their 3rd pick and get LSU linebacker Kelvin Sheppard, a 250-pounder, good athlete, and a great locker room guy. He was a captain at LSU, and that's exactly the kind of guy, a team leader, that the Bills need. And he could be an impact player right off the bat. If he doesn't start, you know he's going to play, certainly on the defense, and certainly, if nothing else, will be a fantastic special teams player, at least to start, but eventually will be a starter in the inside on that linebacker core. So there you go. There's your top 3 picks. We'll go through the 2 number 4 picks and the number 5 pick in our next installment as we recap the 2011 Bills NFL Draft. I'm Rich Gensler from the Bills Radio Network.